So hello everyone, this is Andrew Bart again, your Urban Chicken Man, and today we are going to be cleaning the chicken coop. So what that means is we're going to be dealing with an excessive amount of chicken shit. So my girlfriend, my cameraman, has decided to move on to greener pastures, and by greener pastures I mean she's working in the garden where there's no chicken shit. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to gather this up. Let me show you kind of the condition you get after about a week and a half. It's been raining. It's been very cold here the last couple weeks, so I usually do this every week. This is 2 weeks worth of just 9 chickens shitting everywhere. Their nesting boxes aren't too bad, but they need to be cleaned out as well. They need fresh hay. Like I said, I usually do this once a week with 9 chickens, but the weather's been in this condition where, well, I'm just going to be honest with you. I just didn't want to do it. So anyway, so here we are in the situation we're in because I've just been kind of lazy and not wanting to go outside. I'm going to go get a trowel real quick. We're going to gather up some of this chicken poop. We're going to throw it out in the compost heap. And one thing you want to know, two things actually, two things very, very important when you're cleaning a coop. A, chicken poop. I don't think you can see me real well there. Chicken poop. I'm working on a tripod, man. Sorry. Chicken poop is extremely high in nitrogen. It doesn't go straight from the coop straight to your garden. If you do that, there's a good chance you're going to damage your plants because it's just so high in nitrogen it can damage the plants. Again, kind of like I did on the fertilizer videos, it's basically like a chemical burn. And two, I highly recommend you don't go out there in the coop and move the poop around when it's very, very dry. There are conditions, and I forget the name of them now, where the poop enters the lungs because it's really dry. It's in the air. You're kicking it up. You're throwing things around because you're moving around in it and you're scraping it and throwing it in a bucket. All that movement kicks the dry poop up into the air, and if you inhale it, you can get a condition from that. I forget what the infection is, but something that you don't want to worry about. So this right here is very wet. I'm going to go ahead and work with it. If it wasn't wet, I would have watered it down first to wet it down. So that way when I work with it, it's not kicking, basically chicken poop and infected poop up in the air where I'm breathing. So anyway, I'm going to get my trowel, and then we'll go ahead and do a time lapse. You can see the before and after. We'll go from there. Okay, so you guys saw it before. You saw what it looked like. That's not perfect, but it's good enough for chickens. Okay, so that's where we're at. Now we're going to move on to these nesting boxes down here. Now, one thing that I was lucky enough is my neighbor, a good friend of mine, Brett Peters, is a woodworker, and he built me this coop out of some wood he had left over and all that, and he built them really well. So for me to clean these coops out, oh, and you'll notice that these boards are here. I put these boards in because the girls were liking to get in there while I'm trying to clean instead of going outside into their outside pen while I'm trying to work. So come to find out, they can just jump over them anyway. I didn't get them big enough. But anyway, that's why those boards are there, to kind of keep them in their nesting boxes. And I was getting eggs back in there too, so that does at least keep that from happening. But anyway, so he was nice enough to build me this coop with, and I'll show you, doors. So we're going to take it and finish the cleaning process. You can see all the poop that came off the top of the area where they roost at night. I promise you it fit better when he built it. We're going to take these, we're going to clean them out from the inside. So I'll set you up so you guys can watch this a bit and see the process. Because, I don't know why you think it's that fucking interesting, but whatever. So we'll clean these out. I'll get inside here and start working on it. Okay, so we're about done with this. And if you stuck around this long, you can see all that massive amount of hay out of the back. I'm going to tell you one thing you absolutely have to make sure of when you're cleaning your coop. And that is probably the most important part of this, and more important than just getting all the poop out, is letting it dry. This has to dry out because you can tell this wood, and most coops are like this. Well, the design of the coop is not one in which it dries out easily because it's supposed to be enclosed. It's supposed to keep them protected. So the biggest thing is let this dry. Before the girls are allowed back inside, this is going to dry for several hours to make sure we don't get any mold and mildew buildup. Now, I'm getting the poop that's been caught in these little traps here. The coop is really well designed for chickens, but you know, the cleaning was kind of a secondary thought, I think. Especially with me, I wanted to have the nesting boxes higher up so it was easier to clean, but we couldn't make that happen when we built it. Long story on that one. But again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to keep the girls from, you know, running around their own poop. As far as the straw goes, I know it's covered in poop. Hush, I don't need calls from my family. As far as the poop and the straw goes, I usually just put it out here on the side. It's not going to hurt anything. Help keep the weeds down a bit. And quite frankly, I don't really have anywhere else to put it unless I put it in the compost, but it's about full. So now we'll work on this side here, where it likes to get trapped in. One good thing about chicken poop is that it's very, very water soluble. So you put some water to it, even if it's dried and caked. Actually, if it's dried and caked, it usually works better. It'll break right up and go where you want it to go. So we'll get these guys out of here. Now the straw that's got the poop in it, once you get a lot of the poop out, most of the poop out, you can use that straw in your garden. It's usually pretty good for that. The nitrogen content's been lessened a lot by the dilution of the water and just the washing out of the straw itself. So you can use that quite a bit. Hopefully you can hear me. I've never actually tried to do these videos or this audio with background noise like that. But anyway, for now we're going to take this. Oh, there's a nice train. It's pleasant. Just going to spread it around here to kind of keep the weeds down. Because again, there's not a whole lot of place for me to put it right now. So I don't feel like doing it in the garden. We're working on other stuff in the garden at the moment. Okay, so there you go. The girls are nice and clean. They got a nice home to come back to here in a few hours when it dries out. Hello, sunshine. I didn't think you were coming out. So like I said, the whole house is nice and clean. Girls got something good to come back to, and it's as clean as chickens need to be. And anyway, like normal, if you have any questions, chat me up on Facebook, join the Urban Chicken Club, and we can go from there if you need anything. Scan the QR code in the bottom right, that'll get you there. And I think now we're going to go ahead and add in the time lapse if you want to watch some of the cleaning and all that. I usually put that stuff at the end because I mean, you got to be really bored to want to watch that shit. So anyway, y'all have a good day.